Let's talk about the lake.
I've been waiting for this.
Me too.
This is one of the reasons I wanted to come here.
What's the name of this lake?
Lagoona Lake.
Okay.
There's the lake right there.
Oh, let's find the lake. Doo-doo-doo.
Folks, we do have a swamp in San Luis. It's not very big, but it is very deep.
Deep.
No, I'm not talking about the lake. I was talking about City Hall.
It is. That's true. We got to clean that up. Just
Now-
go follow the prez.
John Madonna, who is a friend of mine, and I love the Madonna family. What a wonderful family. This lake, actually, and this property we're standing on, used to belong to Alex Madonna, who I loved Alex. I thought he was a great guy. I have great childhood memories. When I went to, which was called Quintana School at the time, now Bishop's Peak, we used to hike, the whole school, and all the elementary schools hiked to the top of this mountain, like every year. And Alex would have his workers drive pastries and sodas and lunch up to everybody and supply it. Alex was a really good man.
Nice.
Now, Alex had a great idea for this lake. After Alex donated the lake and this property to the city, gave it to the city, years went by and it filled up with soot. He wanted to clean that lake out for free because he had the dredging equipment to do it. He owned it. They wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let Alex, who gave this to the city as a gift, wouldn't let him clean up for free. Instead, they were mean to him. Now, flash forward years and years ahead, John Madonna, he wanted to clean up the lake because they were actually talking about digging it out and cleaning it up.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to use his dad's plan, which was a really good idea. Instead of hauling any of this dirt in the lake and moving it, which is where the big money is, he wanted to put it right next door. You see all the rocky area around here?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to take the dirt from the lake, the soot from the lake, and put it over here and terrace it so his cattle would have more grazing land and you wouldn't have to haul it. He could have done this for about $1.5 million. Now, instead of the city following that plan, which is a brilliant plan that his father Alex had to begin with, they said, nope, we want to spend $10 million and give it to some company in Los Angeles and not keep our money here local. I don't know about you, but if you want to find the corruption, you follow that money.
Yeah, I wonder,
Something is not right here. When you could pay 15% of what they're allotting, $10 million could turn this into a fantasy land. That's a lot of money. Now, what I would like to see here at this lake, this beautiful lake, I'd like to see John Madonna do the work. I'd like to see John Madonna's company have the contract to do the work that his father tried to do to begin with.
Right.
And honor Alex Madonna, the man who gave this lake and this property to the city to begin with. Let's honor somebody who actually did something really good. And we should. Alex Madonna and the Madonna family, who still to this day does an awful lot for our community. Wonderful family. Now, with that other $8.5 million that they've already decided, wow, what can we do here? Could we put a little a coffee shop out here that sold breakfast after we fix this lake? After we fix this lake out here, and we have rock lining with netting, kind of like you see around the beach harbor areas, really clean, all along the residential, all along the lake, and nice docks for all of these houses, raising the equity of all the properties along the lake here, and making it beautiful for the rest of the community to enjoy this wonderful, beautiful area here that Alex Madonna gave to us, by the way. I see paddle boats in this lake. I see windsurfers in this lake. I see this lake stocked like it used to be with trout and having fishing derbies out here. I see our community using this lake. I picture sitting right here, looking at this view, drinking a cup of hot coffee in the morning, watching the windsurfers enjoying themselves. A good, healthy America right here. And the whole time this is all going on, I see money being generated for the city.
You can generate a ton of money off of this piece of
Absolutely.
A ton of money.
A ton of money.
The city can make so much money off of this, and they're
A diamond in the rough, sir.
I did a lot for Janet, for Madonna, for his wife, and at her place, and I had a lot of talks with her. And she's kind of, she was in the dark for so many years.
Phyllis?
Yeah, I remember the first time she came running into me, and she said, Homer, oh, I tell you the story. She come running in and said, do you realize there's places down there I can buy everything on? I said, you never been into a store? She said, no. John did that for me all the time. She never went shopping.
Alex didn't let her out much.
Super lady. She told me a lot of stories about really what went on in this town, too. Kind of interesting.
That's who you get the good stories from. I mean, originally, all of this was pheasant hunting territory. This was wetlands, by the way. That years ago, before the houses were put in there, if that was here in modern day, it wouldn't be there.
You know,
Right.
just beyond Duval, he had a landing strip down there. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I did not know that. I just learned something.
Yeah, Duval's had a lot of. I guess whatever Madonna didn't have, Duval's had.
They didn't have Duval's there, and John and his landing strip was right on the other side of Red Hill there, Foothill. And you know, this is years. I lived in Cambridge at those days, in those days, you know, years ago.
They're still trying to get Duval's property. You know?
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
he just-
silly.
So we're going to start getting into some solutions. Are there any other issues that you're going to bring about as mayor?
The CalPers program is the boogeyman in the closet that's been there popping out and ready to really pop out ultimately. Our retirement program here that's bankrupting all of California, really. But this snowball is not going to get smaller. It's going to get bigger and bigger. And if something is not done about it, ultimately, it will bankrupt us. I would like to do what I want to call a walk away from the CalPers program. We need to have a retirement program that is not going to bankrupt our beautiful city, but be fair for the employees. And the only way that's going to happen is if we do a walk away from this day forward, pay down the unfunded liabilities to the people who are already on board and entitled to it. But you pay these unfunded liabilities off to these folks and you start anew. And with this new system, hopefully the rest of California will follow footsteps and say, hey, we don't want to bankrupt either. This is a pretty good idea. Now, I don't have a retirement plan in place yet, but there are several out there that are actually good ones. They're using them everywhere else.
Is that pulling the money from the general fund and paying them off?
Well,
Is that what you're talking?
well, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
You know, I personally, I would like to see a whole bunch of fundraisers, again, come from the private sector. Put them on and put them on and put them on. Bring live entertainment. Bring name entertainment.
Yeah.
Start having concerts, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And pay this stuff off as quick as you can. And does anybody ever listen to Dave Ramsey? Do you know who Dave Ramsey is?
I know who Dave.
Financial independence. He's one of these guys that says, don't owe any money, don't use credit.
Yeah.
If you owe money, live on rice and beans until you're free and clear. Then you're going to be there.
I have a comment to make about that. As the swamp dreams, the money shall come back to where it belongs.
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
is we the people.
Yes,
And all
ma'am.
that debt will take care of itself.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so we don't have to struggle and fight to do it. We just need to implement the changes and bring the correct people in to
Absolutely.
bring back the
Absolutely.
law, the land.
You betcha.
That's why That's why you're going to be running for mayor. You are running for mayor.
This is my plan. This is what I.
Okay. Okay.
plan
Well,
on
so
doing.
that's some of them. That's not even all of it.
Oh no,
all
I'm
the
just
issues.
scratching the surface.
Okay.
I have more ideas than you can imagine.
Okay. So we're going to get together again, and this is great, don't you think, you guys?
I think it's very good. Got my vote.
Yes. You in the back.
Your support.
You in the back.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
No.
My longtime
No,
friend.
I will tell them.
Oh, you have a question? Well, I thought you were voting for it. All right.
I just got something that I would like you to think about, Mr. Mayor.
Absolutely.
I think you know what my issues have been,
Absolutely.
Which are?
and I continue to press for them, and they don't seem to be heard. They want to convert vehicles to electric, so we need more nuclear power plants, and everything is recyclable. During World War II, we had the world's best recycling. Everything got recycled. Used tires, rubber boots, bras, everything got recycled. Just for the war effort, just so we could kill people. But so why we didn't keep that after the war is why we're at where we're at. But every county, every municipality can have its own alcohol producers, and if everybody's growing hemp, you can produce all the alcohol for all the vehicles you could ever need.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you could.
And it's clean. And you can use the same cars we got right now, and they can just be converted to run on alcohol.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have a lot of natural
They even have an engine
I don't
that
care
ran
about
on
I don't
water.
care about rope and all those other things, which is all great. But the issue is fuel.
Yeah.
And then the petroleum companies don't own us anymore, and we're not waging wars in the Middle East. We're not waging crusades and occupying other countries because we can actually produce everything we need for ourselves. It's just that big boys just don't make a lot of money off it.
And that.
If the
that's
money is
it
spread
right there.
amongst the people,
And the
That
corn,
is-
and
and
the
we
corn didn't work.
we could right now be filling our cars with our own alcohol from all our own refuge for 25 cents a gallon.
Oh, I know.
Well, that's going to happen in the future. We're not doing it now because we got to move the bad
Well, that's
apples.
what I want Mr. Mayor to work on.
I think so.
No.
So,
I have faith in that.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
do you think you can work on that issue?
I most certainly can and will.
Yeah, and they're stupid what they're doing with the cannabis too in this town. I mean, Santa Barbara has made millions of dollars off of it. It's right there in Santa Barbara. In San Luis County, they won't even look at it.
They won't look at
They
it.
won't
There's
even look at it.
So much money being
And
passed
it's
by.
like cutting their
It's our
own throat,
medicine.
man. They're going, well,
It's the biggest money maker there is.
It's the biggest
gold
money.
mine.
Yeah.
The hemp industry.
Yes, it is.
And they're cripping it down.
My now I have
just
a
like this place here, like you're saying, Lagoona here, they're cripping it down. All this money can be made all kinds of ways. There's plenty of money, and people can be housed, everything.
Mm-hmm.
my daughter
You
got
can
into
actually
that.
pay for these things and house people and everything else.
Will be taking that and making that organic.
That's all they have to do, and they won't admit it. They won't
Well, we're
admit it.
gonna
They
have
want
to-
still shove alcohol down your throat.
We have to force them to admit it. We have to force the hand here. We're the ones who are got our hands on the steering wheel, you guys. So that's what we're doing here right now today. We need this place full of this conversation with people talking. So strike that match and then it'll start a life of its own. So anyway, love life and life will love you back. Thanks for letting me film you.